Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're bringing it back to our tri-weekly James Bond preparation marathon with The Spy Who Loved Me, which has got to be the most spy title of all time, right? I mean, it's such a spy title that we've spoofed the title into The Spy Who Shagged Me, and most recently, The Spy Who Dumped Me. Out of any given James Bond movie title, this has got to be up there as one of the best, but we do not judge films based on the titles, so the real question is the movie as good as the title? Is the series starting to incipiently improve again? Or is it just another goofy Roger Moore flop? Let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, incipient, beginning to exist or appear. The Spy Who Loved Me takes James Bond to Egypt to investigate the disappearances of a few nuclear submarines. To aid him on this mission, and sometimes to compete with him, is the KGB's Agent XXX. But lurking in the shadows is one of the most recognizable Bond villains ever, Jaws. Wow. Wow. You know, this film impresses me. It really does. Of course, I've seen it before, but back then I was not fully able to comprehend the moments in this film that would be considered memorable because it was my first experience with the franchise. Seeing this film for the second time, I was really shocked to find just how many moments in this film are actually memorable, and I think that mostly has to do with the filming location of Egypt. I mean, they really honed in on that, and it shows. There's a couple of moments in this film that are seared into my brain. One of those moments takes place at the pyramids where Bond is tailing a subject. And the way the scene is shot is actually really thrilling, and the use of lighting and the sound also really works out for the better, too. There's this big social event happening at the pyramids at the same time, and they're using the voiceover narration of that event to provide an extra layer of distinction during the sequence. I gotta be honest, that's one of the best Bond sequences ever. The same can be said a little bit later when Bond is once again tailing another person. This time, it's Jaws, and he goes through a labyrinth of pillars and Egyptian construction, and it's primarily the cinematography in the sequence that helped it really stand out. And you know what? That's not where the memorable aspects end. Like I said, this is the first appearance of Jaws, which has got to be one of the most famous henchmen in any given film. Usually they're just throwaway and they're dumb, but this guy is so good, so memorable. He appears in the next movie too. Also, the big underwater base headquarters for the primary villain is insanely recognizable and memorable, and full of things that just stand out. And so does James Bond's spy car, which doubles as a mini submarine. As far as the Bond girl, Agent XXX, she's actually pretty decent. She's integral to the progression of the plot, and she has a personal stake in what's going on, and it's more of a rarity. I actually think she and Roger Moore have a decent amount of chemistry because there's that level of competition between herself and Bond. There's a lot of great things happening in this movie that makes this film stand out as one of the best Bond films. But at the same time, the main villain kind of sucks and is entirely forgettable. When the henchman is more memorable than the villain himself, you probably have a problem. Why is the guy so bad? Because of his motivations. He's stealing these submarines for a very Bond reason, but his motivations and intentions don't make a lick of sense. The guy likes living underwater and hopes for a brighter day when the whole world will live underwater too. Why? Well, that's unclear. And this will be a bit of a spoiler for those who haven't seen it, but it's only a mild spoiler. He plans to create a nuclear fallout and kill most of the world so that he can create a new world order where everybody has no choice but to live under the sea. Why the world has to end? I'm not sure. I have no idea why his under-the-sea city can't exist at the same time as the stuff going on land. None of that is clear to me. So at the end of the day, the plot seems kind of dumb. But like I said, it does have a lot of great stuff happening in this film that almost feels like standout moments in the franchise as a whole, which is really, really good. And this might be Moore's best film, but truthfully, I actually think I remember enjoying Moonraker the most in Moore's generation, which is the next film. But we'll see if that still holds up now. Let's take a look at the final score. From an unbiased vantage point, this film is fine. It does what it needs to do to tell a compelling spy narrative, so that score would be 72%. However, I really enjoyed a lot what was going on in this film, so my bias score is actually 82%. Averaging everything out to a final score of 77%. 77 out of 100 possible stars, granting this film with a letter grade of C+, which is not bad at all, especially for Roger Moore. I'd like to hear your thoughts on The Spy Who Loved Me in the comments down below. Is this your favorite Bond film? Is it your favorite Roger Moore Bond film? Is this the best from Roger Moore, or is maybe that another Roger Moore film? Let me know. As for YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review, because there's more like it coming out. Hit the thumbs up button, because that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, because that'll help notify you when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out!